K&S tubing body blocks. This is a more advanced way of making your armature, where the legs, arms, neck, and spine are plugged in like in the last example with the head. This will make all pieces removable so that if a wire breaks during animation, you are able to easily replace the piece instead of making a whole new puppet. This is the arm receiver. I cut it down the middle with a jeweler's saw, leaving one side intact. This allows us to bend the K&S so that the trajectory of the arms gives us some shoulder shrugs. Now I'm laying out where all the pieces go. You'll notice I've punched each receiver with a dimple that will allow our plugins to rest snugly inside with a pressure fit. The long piece in the hip region is called a rig point. It will allow us to attach a rig to our character during animation if our character needs to be in the air. I also have a butt rig for extra access points. Once you have laid out your pieces, use Loctite superglue gel to initially bind all the K&S pieces together. Apply a small amount, and they will immediately be stuck together. This is just a way to bind them in place before we form Propoxy or epoxy putty over them for a stronger bond. In this demo, note that there is a teacher's error. I have forgotten to put the spine receiver on the hips. I corrected my mistake after finishing filming. This is pig putty. This putty has a base in the core and an activator surrounding it. When you knead the two together, it becomes activated and will completely cure in about 20 minutes. Its working time is less than that. Cut a chunk off of your epoxy and be sure to wear finger cots or gloves when handling this material. I'm using a bit of 99% alcohol to mix the material easier and later smooth the surface of the epoxy. Apply your material to where the KNS connects. It's best to keep your gloves or finger cots on during this process, as your skin will absorb the toxic materials. I personally have trouble forming the epoxy with finger cots on, so I'm taking my chances. You can use sculpting tools and toothpicks to push the material into one snug piece. I'm taking time to make sure the epoxy is on the same plane as the opening of the KNS. It's good practice to smooth the surface of any bumps. Make sure that the opening of the KNS are not blocked by any of the epoxy overspill. With the K&S body blocks complete, now it's time to move on to the plugins.